Welcome to the Sporting Index trading floor once again. My name's the Chief, Carl Sante, and I'm going to talk you through what promises to be yet another exciting weekend of FA Cup football, return of the Guinness Premiership, the Babes in the final in the Australian Open tennis, a bit of golf and a bit of cricket. Well, let's start with football as always. Interestingly, today on Friday we've got a game, the African Nations, which has been very exciting so far. Lots of quite high scoring games, lots of goals flying around, but the way we've seen the business today is on Nigeria v Mali bookings. It's a big game. We were 42-46. We've had to move that up 40-48, and we're expecting a bit of argy-bargy there, as it were. We've had a £500 buyer at 46, so we've had to move that price up. But down to the real football this weekend. It's all about the cup and the magic of the cup. The BBC kick off with a great game on Saturday at 12:45. Although some of you may not think so. Mansfield v Borough doesn't sound that exciting, but some of our punters have found it exciting, and they're fancying Borough. We were 1.2, 1.4, we've had a 10 grand buyer at 1.4 and an 8 grand buyer at 1.4, forcing us to move our price up to 1.3, 1.5. We're quite happy at those levels. Borough, probably one of the most inconsistent teams in the whole land, and that includes Havant and Waterlooville. Here we go. A bit later that afternoon, not live, the game that most people are talking about and the media are all going to focus on is Liverpool v Havant. We've gone up 4.4, 4.6 supremacy there. I have to be honest, not a lot of trade there, but we do expect that punters will probably come for Liverpool at 4.6, just because there doesn't appear to be any downside, and it looks like they're going to be playing a fairly strong side. Chelsea play Wigan later at 5:30, also on the BBC. They travel up to the North East, and my God, how well has Avram Grant done there? Very, very consistent Chelsea, much better record than Mourinho. And in fact, people aren't talking about Mourinho and now sort of criticising him. Was he really that special? Punters like Chelsea now. They've gone up from 1 to 1.2 to 1.1, 1.3, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that go up a little bit more. Chelsea don't seem to be conceding many goals and creating lots of chances at the moment. Hey, my team, what a great result on Tuesday night, 5-1. Can't believe it. I'm not going to gloat too much because Arsenal will probably beat us for the next 20 games. But anyway, we enjoyed it, and I'm not going to say anything more about it because we go to United on Sunday, and what a big game that is for Spurs. Haven't beaten United in over 13 games. United have won 11 of the last 13 against Spurs, and the other 2 were drawn. So all the facts point to United win, and the punters have gone on them. They probably think Spurs are still drunk after Tuesday night. Maybe not through alcohol, but just through, like, unbelievably, we actually beat Arsenal. We were 1 to 1.2 there. It's gone on, it's now 1 to 1.3. We had a 25 grand buyer there, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. The other market, 2.9, 3.1 total goals. Very high. Spurs have got Ledley King back now, sort of sorted out their defence, and on their last 6 visits to Old Trafford, the goals have averaged just 1.3. So it is different to a cup game, but still 1.3. It does tend to be the odd goal or the odd disallowed goal, as it was with Pedro Mendes a few years ago. The one man causing a lot of heartache here at the moment is one Cristiano Ronaldo. At the start of the season, we were quoting his player goal minutes 12-15, then we went up 15-18. Last week he was quoted as high as 32-35 against Reading, and we still had a £500 buyer, and he punished us in the 90th minute. Every week he seems to be punishing us. Anyway, this week we went up 29-32, bearing in mind they're playing a better team than last week, well, you'd think. And he's already been brought up to 30-33, so we're praying if he does score, please make it early and not too often. The other player that everyone's been interested in is Dimitar Berbatov. He was 11-14 and he's now moved up to 12-15. Amazing to think the 2 players are fairly similar standard, and that one has quoted double the other one. Other live game on Sunday, Sheffield United, Man City, total goals, punters not liking these. They were 2.4, 2.6, they've come down to 2.3, 2.5. We've had a 10 grand seller there at 2.4. Anyway, all in all, there are 20 live games covered by Sporting Index this weekend, so look at our website. All sorts of weird and wonderful games from weird and wonderful countries being covered there. The Guinness Premiership returns after some very exciting Heineken Cup last week, and for once we've got dry rugby, it looks like, this weekend. So in tonight's game is Sale v Quins. It looks like the punters are going with Sale. They were 13-16, we moved them up to 14-17. Quins missing a couple of players and Sale at full strength, so no surprise to see that there. But we're quite happy with that at these levels. I mean, to be honest, 17's a lot to pay. Total points 43, 46. It's nice to see a quote back in the 40s after about 4 sodden weekends, and not a lot of business there as we speak. Now, the the game they're all talking about, the Australian Open Women's Final. It is babe-tastic, as they say, and it's, you know, even if you're not going to have a bet, there's a lot of talent on the show. Well, we have seen a lot of business on this game. Is total games have been forced down. We were 22-23. We've had a 2 grand seller at 22, and they've come down to 21.5, 22.5. Last game, she lost her first 8 games in a row. And came back, and the crowd lifted her. But I'm not sure. Sharapova's playing unbelievable tennis at the moment, so I think that 2 grand seller probably will be safe at the moment. Other sports going on this weekend. We've seen a lot of business. Punters piling into Tiger, and he shot 500 last night. We've had an £800 bar on the big guns index of 37. You've got in the seniors golf, the Turtle Bay Championship, got Fred Funk. A lot of people interested in him on our index there as well. He's moved up from 21.24 to 22.25 after his dramatic last gasp win last week. We've got some cricket on. We've got South Africa, West Indies. There's 2 of those. Not a lot of business to report there. There's one on Friday, one on Sunday. Got the Pakistanis versus Zimbabwe, that's on Sunday. And where we have seen lots of business overnight for the insomniacs is Australia v India. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a draw. Adelaide as flat as anything, but it's been an absolute buyer's dream. And I just want to tell you about one punter who bought Tendulkar runs, bought them for 250 at 70. I think got just over 150, so that punter's had a nice 20 grand payday there. Anyway, there's also, if you're into your racing, huge day of racing where I'll be tomorrow with some Middlesbrough fans, bizarrely, watching the Festival Trials Day at Cheltenham, the last big day at Cheltenham before we all descend there on March to destroy our livers and hopefully not our wallets. Anyway, wherever you are, whatever you're doing this weekend, have a great one, and hopefully Punters Sporting Index.